like to show you how to use your loom extenders with your knitting board so that you can create a weaving loom. I'm going to use the 10-inch extenders, and today I'm going to use the all-in-one loom. The reason I like using this is because it's got so many options. Look at different places that I can set the loom extenders so that I can make my piece as large as I want. I think what I'm going to do is start one down at the end, just putting that loom extender into my loom, and then I'm going to go to the middle hole, make it about this large, so I could make it all the way down to here. Now I'm going to put on the other side, right through the same holes. There's the loom extender. Now I'm just going to secure it with all of my 4 wing nuts. Okay, this takes a few minutes to get the old wing nuts on. Get them nice and tight. There we go. Tight and tight, and the last one. Right, there you have it. You have your whole section that you're going to be using as a weaving loom, and we're simply going to put on our base yarn, and then we're going to do our weaving with our long crochet hook. I like to use a really nice thick chunky yarn on my base yarn, and I just put that loop knot right over my first peg. And again, remember, you can do this any way you want. You can vary it. I'm just going to do 2 pegs at a time. Here we go, nice and tight. I'm going to do 2 pegs at a time. You see I'm pulling it really tight because it will loosen up towards the end. So you want it just as snug as you can. Okay, almost to the end. There we go. Again, I could keep going. Okay, here we are. I've made another loop knot, but the cut in, and I'm just going to pull it as tight as I can and hook it onto that last peg. There, nice and tight, kind of like strings of a guitar. Now I'm ready to do the weaving. What I'm going to do, again, there's so many different ways of doing this, but what I like to do is just to take my new yarn that I'm going to weave with, put a loop knot at the end of that, then I'm just going to put it right over that first peg again. See, I'm using the same peg. Get those tails under there, we'll work them in later, but the same peg that I started on. Now I'm going to take my crochet hook and I'm just going to start my weaving. Again, you can do this every 1 or every 2. Let's just do 2. Going down on top of the first 2, up on the next 2, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, and down, and then up on that last one. Don't worry about how it comes out, just get the weave in there. Then I'm going to stretch out that yarn for about what I'll need, and I'm going to grab it there. Now I'm going to pull it through my weaving. It's actually going to be a double strand going through. Okay, see how we, in this first row, you just want to kind of push it over there. There. Now, put your crochet hook back through it. Pull your yarn snug, and now go up under it. See, so that loop just stays and creates a finished edge on the beginning. And then you're going to go up in the opposite way. There we go. There we go. And finished. And push that last one back. Wrap it out a little ways from the board. Put it on your hook and pull it through. And when I do, I also pull it through that last loop, and there I have it locked onto that edge and locked onto that edge. And all I have to do is push my rows over as I work. There, keeping it snug. Now I'm ready to take my hook and go down and on top of that one, now under that one, And you can change the weaving process from one row to the next. You can just be as creative as you want to be. But when I get it all down there, pushing those down, grabbing out, hooking it over the hook, and pulling it back through. And here we go again, and then back through the last blue loop so that we have, and we're going to create a nice little chain effect on the end here, keeping it just tight enough not to be pulling them in, but just to keep a nice even tension on it, pushing them down, and then you just come and we're going to go under this one. Sometimes it takes a minute to kind of look and see, how do I want to start this? There you go, just to keep weaving over, under. Okay, pull it back out, grab it again, and away we go. There we go, through the last blue one, and done with that row. Now this is pretty easy. Look how pretty that's going to be at the end. Won't that make a nice little bag? You know, it's going to be a little bit smaller when you take it off the loom, so that's why it looks a little bit big for an eyeglass case, but I think it'll be a really nice size once I get done. Okay, and then down and under. Here we go again. And the last one, out, hook it on, and go back through. Here we go. And, oops, lose it. Through the last blue one, and again we're continuing that nice little border along our edge, going back under and back through. Now let's do something. See that little loop there? Go ahead and give that a little pull so that it kind of tightens that up just enough. There, we don't want to leave big loops down there. Okay, now we're ready. Tighten that up just a little bit, and here we go. So you can't make too many mistakes, you just do it any way you want to, as long as you keep that tension going, and look at each row after you do it. Make sure it's the way you want it. Pull it back through, and back through the last loop. And again, do we want to pull that a little bit tighter? Yes, let's pull it just a little bit tighter. Pull this one, keep it in balance. Down they go again. And look how pretty that's going to be. And we just keep going until that whole piece is done. As you can see, both of these side edges are going to have a finished edge. They're completely finished. There's no tail sticking out unless you want to make something that's got fringe on it. You can do cut pieces and put just the different pieces through there. But this one's going to be all completely finished, and all I'll have to do is crochet off these edges, just bind them off, just like if I was weaving a scarf or something and it came to the end of it. I would just bind those off, which will create another chain just like this. You can do it in the red or you can do it in the blue.